Hey guys, it's Miss Britt again. I wanted to jump on YouTube and share with you the latest Scholastic news that is currently sitting at school waiting for us to do, but we won't be able to do it until May 15th. So I wanted to jump on here and go over it with you now and read a little bit to you. I also want to make sure that you know and can see and use these features because I am going to post a code on ClassDojo where you can go online and also access this Scholastic news in English or in Spanish, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and turn the page. So this feature here is for turning the page. And I have it where you can see both pages at one time. All right, so this particular story is considered a social studies topic. The title is A Place to Call Home. There are some embedded features in the Scholastic Online articles. If you click these little spaces here, such as this one, you can learn more about refugees and a video pops up. I don't have time to watch the entire video, but you will have time to watch it whenever you access this independently. And then over here is if you want to see Tani hanging out with his family. Now, I know that you do Scholastic magazines in Miss Todd's room. So one of the things that you do is that we focus on the vocabulary. So look down here at the bottom of the page and let's look at these words to know while we are reading. Our first word to know is terrorist. Terrorist is a noun. It is also written in the plural form. Terrorists are people who violently attack innocent people to accomplish a goal, whatever goal that they have set. And then the second word is novice. It is a noun. It is a person who has just started learning or doing something. Kind of like Miss Britt right now, I am a novice when it comes to using Screenomatic, which is the resource that allows me to share with you my screen right now as I read to you. So I'm a novice person when it comes to using Screenomatic. All right, so let's jump in this together. A place to call home. Tani and his family fled to America to escape danger. A year later, he became a chess champ and changed their lives. As you read, we want to think about how Tani handled challenges. How have you overcome challenges in your life? And I have another question for you. Could you relate this to your life now? Are you facing any challenges right now? I feel like we might be. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. You have a feature up here to highlight. So I'm going to highlight that in pink because we're going to come back to that. All right, first paragraph. He couldn't believe it. Last March, Tani Adewumi won a New York State chess championship. He just learned how to play the game about a year earlier, and he was competing against players who had a lot more experience, so no one expected him to win. Tani didn't realize it at the time, but that victory would change his life. Now, you're going to find some information about Tani here, find out some information about Tani here in just a moment. And this young man has really made the best of his situation. Second section, Escaping Danger. This is a subtitle. Less than 2 years earlier, Tani and his family had been living in Nigeria, a country in Africa. So here is an image of the globe. The United States is over here. Here is Africa, and he is from Nigeria, and the map points it out to you. Tani was born in the war-torn nation where terrorists have been launching deadly attacks for more than 10 years. The family was constantly afraid for their lives and knew they had to escape the danger. They fled Nigeria in 2017. They fled means that they left Nigeria in 2017. They fled from Nigeria. We didn't carry that much with us, Tani recalls. We just left for a new life. The family arrived in New York City 6 months later with little more than the clothes on their backs. Though Tani's parents got jobs, they couldn't afford to rent an apartment. They had no choice but to move into a homeless shelter. Tani and his older brother Austin shared a room on a different floor than their parents. They didn't have a TV to watch or a fridge to grab a snack from when they got hungry. It was rough, Tani says. Next section, game changer. As Tani adjusted to a new country and learned a new language, he also started a new school. He learned a new language. Well, I was trying to erase that. It's not working though. He learned a new language. How many of you guys have learned a new language? Quite a few of you. We've had quite a few new students this year that are learning English for the very first time. So you could be a lot like Tani, moving to a new country and learning a new language. He also started a new school. He didn't know anyone, but he found a group to connect with, the chess club. The chess club met every Thursday for 2 hours. Every night after he finished his homework, Tani would lie on the floor of the shelter and practice for 3 more hours. All of that hard work paid off when he took home the trophy at the tournament last year. It was so big I couldn't carry it, Tani remembers. A new home. Tani wound up with more than just a trophy. His quick rise from novice to champ caught the attention of a reporter from the New York Times, one of the biggest newspapers in the country. When his story appeared in the news, people around the world donated more than $200,000 to help the Adawumis. But the family didn't keep any of it. Instead, Tani's parents used the money to set up an organization to help other refugees like them. Someone who was inspired by Tani's story even offered to pay the rent on an apartment for 1 year. Tani finally had a place to call his own. Now the 4th grader, just like you guys, now the 4th grader has a kitchen where his mom cooks his favorite meals and a laptop for practicing chess. He has his sights set on this year's state championship, though last year's tournament will be pretty hard to top. It completely changed my life, Tani says. And this article was written by Trisha Culligan. So I want you to think about about these 2 words and how they were used in the passage. That's one thing. So you can think about terrorists, people who violently attack innocent people to accomplish a goal, and you can think about the word novice, a person who has just started learning to do something, and pick one of them to write about. If I was writing something, I would write about being a novice since I'm learning how to do this for the very first time. And most of you could talk about being a novice with digital learning, because we're all learning how. I'm learning how to teach digitally and you're learning how to learn digitally. So maybe that's the best one for us to use for you guys to make a connection. I'll post your assignment on ClassDojo. Now let's go back up here and think about this question. Think about how Tani handled challenges. What do you think Tani did? How did he handle challenges? Pause the video and think for a moment. How do you think that Tani handled challenges in his life? Because obviously he had quite a few. I mean, he was a refugee who came to a new country, who had to learn a new language, started a new school, learned a new game to play, but became really good at it. So how did he handle those challenges? Okay. And the second part is how have you overcome challenges in your life? This is your second part on ClassDojo. You could probably put them together and talk about how you've become a novice digital learner. So you're a brand new digital learner at home, and then answer these 2 questions for how Tani handled challenges and how you are overcoming challenges in your life right now with this learning digitally. Before I end the video, I want to check out these boxes here on the side because we always read this information. What Tani wants you to know. People were generous to my family. We are giving back by helping others. Everyone needs help sometimes. Absolutely, my friend. We all need a little help sometimes, and I have been working with my team, my 4th grade team, to help me. So just remember, friends, everybody needs help sometimes. The second part is don't give up on your goals. The first tournament I played in didn't go well, but I never stopped trying. Also very important, never stop trying. And 3, talent alone won't get you far. You might get lucky once in a while, but it takes hard work to succeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. So when I think about Tani and his challenges, he understands that people need help sometimes, just like we all need a little help sometimes. Miss Kenworthy was helping me this morning learn how to use Zoom a little bit better because I hope to be able to run a conference with you guys on Zoom. I have not stopped trying to get better at this digital teaching that I'm trying to do. So figuring out digital platforms and learning how to teach you. And I am working very hard, as I know you guys are, every day so that we can all be successful. And then over here, what you need to know about refugees and immigrants. More than 1 million people from around the world resettle in the United States each year, but they don't all come here for the same reason. Refugees like Tani are forced to leave their country to escape danger, such as war or gang violence. They leave behind their homes, family, and most of their belongings. Most will never return home because it is too unsafe. Immigrants, on the other hand, immigrants are people who choose to leave their homes to settle in a different country with more opportunities, like better jobs or schools. Unlike refugees, they usually have time to plan for their travel, pack, and say goodbye to friends and family. All right, my friends, down here at the bottom are also the close reading questions, so you'll have access to those. Why did Tani and his family leave Nigeria? You can respond to that on ClassDojo. How did playing chess help Tani? And how are refugees and immigrants different? So take a moment, write those 3 questions down on paper. Give yourself about 5 or 6 lines in between each one so that you can post your response on ClassDojo. And I am going to set up an assignment with these 3 questions on there in case you want to type it instead of posting a picture. All right, my sweet friends, I have enjoyed reading to you again today, and I'm going to post this article on ClassDojo and the link to the YouTube video. Talk to you soon. Bye.